Okay, well, welcome to Future of Care podcast Youth Roundtable. May each of you guys go introduce your names and what your guys' role is here.
My name is Stephanie, and I'm a feature writer.
My name's Carlos, and I'm a digital content designer.
My name's Natalie, and I'm a guest coordinator.
My name is Jameer, and I'm a researcher fact checker.
My name is Jermaine and I'm a researcher.
My name is Aiden and I'm a social media manager.
My name is Zoe and I'm a producer.
All right, welcome everyone. Let's start off by asking questions. How do you think healthcare costs affects individuals and families in your community?
I think healthcare is really expensive for a lot of families in my community, so I think it definitely affects them by they're not comfortable going to get help because they can't afford it or like yeah.
I agree with Stephanie. I think it's too expensive, and I also think that it's not available for all families and all communities. Like, no matter the income, sometimes it's not available for all people of low income or even people of high income.
I also agree with Stephanie, and I just feel like it's just really unfair how the prices are and everything. But yeah, pretty much I feel like it's just not okay for them.
I feel like when it comes to healthcare, it's really expensive, and not much people make a lot of money, especially those with low incomes. So I feel like it should be helpful to other people that can't afford it.
What was the question again?
How does healthcare costs affect individuals and families in your community?
Uh, I would say that it's expensive and it causes them not to pay for it because of the high prices.
I feel like it's expensive for like the poor, especially for immigrants that just came to the US.
I feel like it's really hard for the people in my community because of sometimes it depends on the job that they have. It doesn't have good pay.
Thank you. Next, what can be done to make it easier for people to ask for help?
I think to make it easier to ask for help, we need to get rid of stigma that's involved with asking for help because a lot of people are scared that they're going to be viewed negatively if they do.
I think that we can just like have a more open like mindset when it comes to healthcare. Like, for example, I feel like when you see ads about healthcare, it's usually like a common group of like healthy, rich white people. I feel like opening it up to like what Aiden said, immigrants or low income people to promote that so that everybody knows that they have a space in this community.
I also agree with Carlos and everything about that, but I feel like I feel like they could be like a better place. Like I don't know how to explain it, but whatever Carlos said, I kind of disagree with that on my side.
What I think they should do is that they should open up like companies, and based on your zip code, that's where they will put the association, so it would be easier for other people.
I don't even remember the question.
What can what can be done to make it easier for people to ask for help?
I don't know.
I think like people should have like more of a judgment free zone, and like also like they should like um open up to other people that feel good about themselves and make sure that they feel good about themselves too.
I think they could um like make programs and send flyers around New York City.
Thank you. What do you think is the biggest healthcare issue people are facing today?
I think the biggest healthcare issue people are facing is mental health, especially since academic pressure is increasing, and there's also a lot of PTSD from that veteran space. So I think mental health is a big one that affects a lot of people.
I agree with Stephanie. I think mental health is a big thing, and along with mental health, there's other things like she said, PTSD. There's just a whole bunch that goes into it, and a lot of these people being affected by mental health right now as teenagers, and with like school and academic stuff, and even work because younger people do work. I feel like a lot of that's just adding on to them.
I agree with them both, and I feel like something that like really affects them is just like the rising of like the cost and everything because it's just really hard to like get a hold of that now.
I think one thing, I think mental health is a really big problem. And when you deal with problems with mental health, you isolate yourself and you sometimes don't want any help and you feel like you can do it on your own, but you really can't. And it's not that really talked about because nobody really cares. So with people that don't care about mental health, it's really hard to get better.
And I would say that the prices are going up, and nobody wants to pay for it, so they're avoiding that, and they're just getting sick.
I think it's like people that's doing drugs and stuff, and like how it affects them in the outcome.
I would say mental health is also a big problem, but another problem could be like insurance. A lot of people don't have that.
Okay. If you could change one thing about the US healthcare system, what would it be?
I would probably change the cost. I know a lot of people don't ask for help because they can't afford healthcare.
I agree with Stephanie again. I think the cost is just too much, and I would change the promotion of it. Going back to my answer earlier, I think they promote it often around a wealthy group of people, and I think they should just promote it more like diverse wise and lower the cost of it.
I also agree with Carlos and Stephanie because I feel like cost is just really like hard to keep up with and everything, and they should really just provide it to those people and families who like can't afford like much with it.
Um, I agree. I think it should be more affordable because that's one thing a lot of people are having trouble with is making money and having enough, since because of inflation and like prices are getting up. So yeah, more affordability.
I agree with Stephanie. I think we should lower down the prices.
Um, I think it should be also lower down the prices and make sure like um the like people should be able to have one place that they could go to that's like in their area.
I also think cost is really a big issue. It shouldn't really cost that much to take care of your health.
All right, last question. Do you think teenagers should be taught more at school about health insurance?
I definitely think that teenagers should be taught more at school, especially because, like, in really diverse communities, like, a lot of adults don't really understand English or, like, languages that healthcare is, like, introduced in. So I feel like if teenagers are taught that, they could, like, help spread it to their families and it would, like, make everyone in the community healthier.
I agree. I think that they should be taught more because you're kind of just thrown into the world after high school or even when you're still young. It's just good to know about it so that you can, learn and in the future when you have children, you just know what you're doing. And so you don't just like avoid healthcare because that's something that could definitely benefit you in the future.
Again, I agree with them both because I feel like you basically are thrown in the world after like high school and everything. So like learning all of that like information it will really like help you like find a path like in life and everything with like your healthcare and everything.
Yes, I think when it comes to healthcare, it should be taught because when you learn stuff when you're younger, it's way much more easier when you're an adult.
Uh, I disagree with that because in school, like you should be learning, like how do I say this? Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Um, I think it should be taught in school because like over time you won't know how to do things like that and if you don't learn it during school and like over time you'll like just go downhill.
I think this is very important because um if kids don't know now, they're definitely not gonna know when they're older.
All right. Thank you everyone for your time. Please give yourselves a round of applause.